It's a topic, but it's a two-in-one topic in the sense that Waqf is the major word, and Wasiyyah is another major word. And at the end of the discussion, we are going to integrate the two concepts. By the grace of Allah, coincidentally, I have another lecture after this, which is a bit close to this. And I would like to briefly share with us the celebration of birthdays is very, very intense among not only in the Western world, in the Islamic world. This is it has become a very topical issue, highly sensitive and emotive, that people can fight if you don't congratulate them on their birthdays. Marriages have collapsed just because the husband forgot to congratulate his wife, on her birthday. It's very, very emotive. And the issue now is, those you don't expect, you expect that people like this shouldn't be. It's a very serious thing. Very serious. So, someone who has reached the age of 70 came to me and said the daughters or the children, the children wanted to celebrate her 70th birthday, and based on our own understanding, this has no basis in Islam, but the children are so hell-bent. They were ready to fund it, and they want me to be there. And I said, I don't do it because it has no basis in Islam. If I'm going to do anything, I cannot stand on a podium and be propagating what I have no evidence for in Islam. And I was able to convince them that I will come, but not to come and celebrate birthday, but to come and talk about something like this. That is my next program after this. So when I'm talking, I want to let you know, here, largely youths, and I think you are getting informed now. And for me, I consider it a timely information that when you are planning your life, you can't take these two issues out. How do you establish for yourself a sustainable legacy, through Waqf and Wasiyyah? And by the grace of Allah, the first two speakers have mentioned this in their lectures. So it makes it easier for me. And I want to commend the organizers of this program who have thought it fit to discuss things like this. Now, next slide. So, because of time constraint, I will try to go through my slides in a very fast manner. I may not have time to elucidate, but I'm very confident of Dr. Habibullah. He will do justice when I may not be here afterwards. Please go back. No, no. The first slide. Here. When we say waqf, waqf is like a gentle giant for wealth creation in Islam. Can you see that? Gentle giant. Because waqf almost has no restriction. Zakat has conditions. If your wealth does not reach a particular threshold, you cannot pay zakat, nisab. But waqf, you may even be a tenant and you still do waqf. A tenant. Just to show you how simple it is when we are talking about sustainability. It means permanent dedication of an asset for the sake of Allah, meaning that I am relinquishing my ownership of this asset. To who? Allah, the true owner. You understand? Allah is the true owner who has given it to me, and I am giving it back to him. Meaning that the milkiyah, the ownership, has gone back to Allah, the true owner, the real owner. The capital remains intact while benefits continue. That asset which I own, which I have now transferred its ownership to Allah, will now be invested to generate income. And what happens? That income will now be dispensed on charitable purposes. Based on the hadith of Umar, the property should be sold, not inherited, not given away. That's it. Al-habs, to hold. When you say waqf, waqfu, waqfa, to withhold, to stop. You know? So, next. So why does it matter? It provides continuous charity. Sadaqatun jariyah. Meaning that it's a flowing charity. That the reward will continue to accrue to your record with Allah, whether you are alive or you are dead. Whether you are alive or you are dead. And you must have heard that hadith, that is Amota ibn Adam, unqata min amali ila min thalath, sadaqatun jariyah, aw ilmin yuntafa'u bihi, aw waladin salih yad'u lah. That when a man dies, his book of deeds will be closed, except only 3 things that can go into it. A flowing charity, like waqf. Knowledge that is beneficial to the people, or a righteous son praying for him. So those are the 3 things that can go into your record when you are no more. Go back, please. It provides continuous charity. It ensures long-term benefit for communities. It supports education, healthcare, water supply, welfare, everything. Next. What creates community-owned wealth? It builds assets such as schools and hospitals, shops, farmlands. Wealth remains owned by the Muslim community. That is, if it is the Muslim community that establishes that waqf, you know, the control, the ownership goes back to the community. And waqf is one way by which we can redistribute income or revenue or resources. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says he has given some, yakubid wa yabusut. Allah constrains for some, he enlarges for some. Why? He has created the rich for the poor, and he has created the poor for the rich. And Allah says, كَيْ لَا يَكُونَ دُولَةً بَيْنَ الْأَغْنِيَاءِ مِنْكُمْ, so that wealth is not going to reside among the affluent amongst you. So Allah in his own way is redistributing the income to create social balance. Waqf gives us that leeway. I just imagine all the houses in Lagos giving out for rent. If we just say just 1/3 of those houses meant for rent are channeled towards Waqf, you know what we are talking about? Next is for poverty alleviation. Funds can be used for scholarship for students, health care for low-income families, food distribution, microfinance for small businesses, support for widows and orphans. I currently head a board, if you know of Zakat and Sadaqah Foundation. I happen to be the chairman of the board of directors of this. And I can see what you can do with money and what money we make and we distribute towards all this. Within 5-6 years, we were able to raise 5 billion naira in this country. Now imagine if our zakat, our sadaqah, our waqf were well organized, the poverty that is ravaging the ummah will not be there. Because we are not poor. I can say that. We only lack organization and management and coordination of our resources. I say so. That's the truth. We are not poor. I'm just talking about Muslims. But if I look at Nigeria, we are not poor. We only lack management. And because we do not manage our resources as enshrined in the Sharia, and that is why we are having problems. And globally too, we are not managing the resources in a Sharia compliant manner. And that's why the global north continues to soar high financially, while the global south continually are wallowing in poverty. These are some of the uses of Waqf. Continue. It lightens government burden. Well-managed Waqf can fund schools and hospitals, mosques, water projects, social welfare programs. Next. It builds institutional wealth. It's used successfully in countries like Malaysia, Kuwait, Indonesia, Turkey, Saudi Arabia. All the mosques in Saudi Arabia are Waqf. And the first Waqf was the mosque of Rasulullah in Medina. One year, there was this well of Uthman bin Affan. I visited that place. The well of Uthman bin Affan. Uthman bin Affan, the third Khalifa, his wealth, the well he bought when there was famine in Medina, those days, still useful today. And I envy Uthman bin Affan in terms of reward from more than 1,000 years. And I look forward to me having such a legacy. That's sustainability. All the hotels you see around Haram, products of Waqf, Waqf. And my advice is that this gathering shouldn't just be a talk show. We should rather take it further on behalf of the Ummah, because that is a challenge, and it's a problem that can be solved. So, come back. Many institutions, Al-Azhar, is being run on Waqf. Hospitals, major poverty eradication programs. You can use this. Next. So, practically, how do we institutionalize Waqf in Nigeria? Real estate Waqf. Land endowed for schools, hostels, rental property. How does it work? I have land. Maybe family land. I just go to Olori Ebi, give me my own share, 10 hectares, 20 hectares, and I can say, please, half of it, I want to give it for Waqf, and it should be used for schools, hostels, rental property. Anybody who wants to establish a school, hostels, or for rent can take it. Whatever money accruing from that should now be used fi sabilillah, or the money be plowed back to run those schools, hostels, and for other humanitarian purposes. It's as simple as that. Real estate. Part of it, I have one block of 4 flats. I can say 2 flats for my family, 2 flats for Waqf. When I'm no longer around, those 2 flats should be rented out. Whatever you get from the rent, use it for whatever purpose I wish. Could be for educational purposes, medical, whatever. Income will fund community projects. Next, cash Waqf. Waqf Nukud. Individuals contribute regularly. You can do crowdfunding. Individuals contribute regularly. Funds invested in Sharia compliant assets. Profit used for community needs. We can write an MOU, design a contract that these organizations can come together and fund this. Money is going there, and we are using that money, we are investing that money in Sharia compliant assets, and the profit will now be used for community needs. We can decide what need on behalf of the Ummah is doable. Next, education Waqf supports Quran schools, Islamic universities, teacher salaries, book production. Whatever money we make from it will be used for this purpose, and people can apply. We test, we interview them. Those who are qualified to be given, we give them. Next, health Waqf, Waqf clinics, subsidized or free medical care, maternity support. Next, agricultural Waqf, community farms. Community farms, youth training in agribusiness, food security programs. You can use it for that purpose. Next, social enterprise Waqf, community bakery, laundry, supermarket, ICT hub, profit fund welfare programs. So when you set this up, bakery, you can say whatever profit you are making 50% of your profit goes for this purpose. Waqf fund. Next. Next. Conditions for a successful Waqf system. Transparent governance, Sharia oversight, professional asset management, annual auditing, community participation. Once we have all this in place, please go back. Once we have all this in place, we are good to go. We are good to go. Next. Because of time, that's why I don't want to dwell too much on what I've said. Wasiyyah, which is the will, bequest, that every Muslim who has anything that can be inherited after him must have. A written instruction on how part of a Muslim's wealth should be used after death is mustahab. It becomes obligatory if one has debts or dependents. A Muslim should not go too nice without a written will. That's the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Next. So, you can do wasiyyah, but only on 1/3 of your wealth. For non-heirs or charitable causes, you cannot do wasiyyah to your child, to your wife, to your mother. Those ones are already taken care of, according to Quran chapter 4, verse 11, what they should take. But 1/3 of your wealth can be bequeathed to non-heirs. No wasiyyah to legal heirs. Heirs, spouse, children, parents already have assigned shares. No bequest for an heir. Now, debt must be settled first. Order of settlement after death. Funeral expenses, debts, wasiyyah up to 1/3, and distribution of inheritance. Your wealth has already been distributed by Allah. And there is one attitude of behavior or belief amongst our people. You have your father left a building for you. And that building is old. And that building cannot sustain all of you. And you are all poor. And you are not selling that house. Why? Why will you not sell it? Why can't you sell it? You know the value of that house now. Maybe your father did not even use up to 1 million to build the house. But that house is worth up to 50 million today, or 60 or 80. Why will you not sell it? Because it's a taboo. Abi? Is it a taboo that we should not sell it? Why are we not selling it? You are all poor. Or is that house now has become an idol? Sell it, you are all poor. The house is your own. It's no longer your father's house. It's no longer your mother's house. Is it an idol? You are poor. And it's your house. It's no longer your father's house. Your father is gone. The day your father dies, the ownership goes back to you immediately. So sell the house and make good money. Once you live in that house, once you live there, can go and live in the hinterland. Next. Wasiyyah may contain more than money. Yes. I may have a library. I bought books there. I can offer my library for as wasiyyah in my wasiyyah that look, I'm giving this up for waqf. Guardianship of minors. Who should be the administrator of my estate? Who should look after my family, my children, when I'm no more? You put it in your wasiyyah. Set me of unpaid zakat. I was due to pay zakat sometime, but due to certain reasons I couldn't. You can put it there so that they can pay it on your behalf when you are dead. Charity instructions. I used to give University of Lagos Muslim Community 1,000 every month. Please keep it up. Location of important documents. There are some the documents of my house, of my car, everything is in my bank. Funeral preferences within Sharia. I should be buried in a particular cemetery for Muslims. All these are the details you put in your wasiyyah. So that you will rest in peace. Some, they are dead, but they are not resting in peace because of absence of wasiyyah. A lot of confusion, crisis by the family members. It's not even one wife, one father, one husband, 4 children. They cannot see eye to eye. Over what? Property. Why? Because there is no wasiyyah. You see, if you have wasiyyah, you will just die peacefully and you will rest peacefully. Because absence of wasiyyah can cause you punishment in the grave. E.g., you owe debt. You've not paid your debt. And you have not told anybody about those debts. You will be hanging in your grave. No mercy, no torture. Until your debt is paid. Because you don't have wasiyyah. So all of us here, you must have your wasiyyah. No matter how small is your property, put it there. If I die, these are the people owing me. These are the people I am owing. No, list all assets. I have shares in some banks. I have some cash amount like this. I'm in a contribution. I've paid. I'm number 5. List everything. List all debts and outstanding obligations. Maybe you have not finished paying the school fees of your son. Put it there. The moment you have paid, you remove it. Identify wasiyyah beneficiaries. Meaning that those beneficiaries that are not your family members. Your family members' share have been taken care of by Allah. And that must not be more than 1/3. Maybe your organization, you make a pledge of remittances to them. Put it in your wasiyyah. Then appoint trustworthy executors. People you trust. If I die, this person can pray on my corpse. This person can bath, can give me ghusl, and this is where I should be buried. This is the imam I want to lead the prayer. Put everything there. So once you have put everything there, the moment you die, they will just go into it, and it will make life easy for everybody. You will just die peacefully and rest peacefully. But if you don't do it, there will be argument here and there, and people will be talking emotion. They won't be talking the real facts. They'll be talking emotion. Next. Steps to writing a valid wasiyyah. Provide guardianship instructions, especially for your children. Then you also have to say it there that after my wife has spent the 4 months, 10 days, iddah, she's free to remarry. To the extent that she can marry some of my friends. Why? They are my friends. I can trust them. They know me. They know how I want to raise up my children. They know how the kind of life I want my children to pursue. So I trust them. Do you wonder? During the time of Rasulullah sallallahu, there were no problems of women staying without husband. There were no problem like that in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu. A Sahaba can divorce a woman and another Sahaba will marry. But we are afraid. So that they will not say, I killed the man. It wasn't an issue. We have now brought cultural sentiment into it. It's better than my wife to remarry than for her to remain without a husband. When will she get out of the fact that I died? Everybody will die. And I prefer my friends to take my children and train my children with their own children. But to now remain in my house perpetually, no husband, no father, it's a stigma. The life must continue. That's why anything burial, not more than 3 days, who will not die? The last speaker said, the surest thing is death. That's the surest thing. Nothing else is sure. Every other thing is speculation. Seek guidance from scholars or lawyers. Put the document in writing. Signed, witnessed, stored safely, and update when major changes occur. Next, strategic use of Wasiyyah. Wasiyyah may support establishing Waqf. You can use 1/3 to establish a Waqf in your lifetime. You know, something is very common here. A man who was not religious, so religious in his lifetime, but the children are religious. The man has never thought of any good thing to do. And when he now dies, children will now want to cover for him. We are setting up a foundation on our dead father. Your dead father who was not praying. It is what your father has done that you continue, that will really go to him. This is part of what I'm going to say in that place today. It is what you do, what you institutionalize in your lifetime that will get to you in the grave, that your children will now continue. If you don't believe in something in your lifetime, and you expect that, okay, when I die, the children on their own, saying we are setting up this foundation for our late dad, it is the children that will be getting the reward for that. It doesn't go to him. If he does not deserve it, he has to deserve it. Start good things before you die. And Waqf gives you an avenue to achieve that through your Wasiyyah. You can use your Wasiyyah to establish dawah and Islamic education, healthcare support, orphans and widows, non-Muslim relatives. Permissible. Next, how do we integrate both of them, Waqf and Wasiyyah? Waqf creates continuous charity. Wasiyyah directs up to 1/3 of wealth after death. Long-term development, yes. Ensure Islamic wealth distribution, sustainable poverty support, fulfills personal obligations. Next, a Muslim may allocate part of the Wasiyyah to establish or fund a Waqf that benefits the community permanently. Look at Uthman bin Affan. The well, Konga in Medina up to today. And the reward that will be accruing to him. Next, so Waqf builds sustainable community wealth. Wasiyyah ensures Islamic estate distribution. Together, they strengthen Muslim economic empowerment and social welfare. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So,
because of the time,
yeah,
we want to have just 2 questions.
yeah.
Two. Just 2 questions for both. Again, if you have another question, please put it in writing and pass it to me.
Wa alaikum salam.
My name is Yana and I am a postgraduate assistant.
Yeah.
My question
Okay.
My question is related to the topic. So I want to ask that for Islamic finance, I'm doing a research on it. And then for ACE and FACE, is there any annual report that is relevant to us researchers that we can use in our work?
For ACE and PRACE,
Yes, sir.
is there any
Annual reports?
that they should give
Yes.
to these regulators?
Yes.
Of course, there should be. Dr. Abibullah is a member of TAC, of NICOM. Do you give annual report to NICOM of your activities during the year? They give to you. You don't give to them. Okay, that's it. He will expand on that. Thank you. Next. Wa alaikum salam.
My question is regarding the hadith of those who that the things that you left behind. I want you to look us to clarify on the law of Russia, because he says when my father is not Islamically related, I decided to see this to raise kind of a condition on his behalf. And according to your presentation, said it's perhaps the condition reward will come back to us. So is that not contradicting the case of a good child trying to do good or pray for the father?
Yes, what I want to say on that is this. Your father may be a Muslim, lazy Muslim, whose 5 daily salat is not complete. And he believes in salat, but he's lazy. You know, that's very common. He may do subuhi, and later on at night do isha. Or there are some of them that will pray when people are praying. When people are not there and they are not praying, he will not pray. So But he knows in his mind that I should be praying. It's not that he comes out and says, there's nothing like Salat. You don't need to go to mosque. It's not like that. So he's a sinning Muslim. And you know, we are all sinners, but the level differs. So you can do anything for that kind of a father. Do you understand? He believes in Islam. And you never see him taking oath or pledging allegiance to another religion apart from Islam. Do you understand? So he can be regarded as a sinning Muslim. So whatever you can do to benefit him as the son, the direct son, inshallah, with the hadith, he can. But I'm talking of a situation whereby a father has told you there's nothing called Islam. All these things are foreign religion. There is not Ẹ̀sìn àbáláyé. You understand? If it's Ẹ̀sìn àbáláyé, ìṣẹ̀ṣe people, gbàgbé ẹ̀, nothing will go to him. And it is you that will do it. Not necessarily you advertising to the whole world. I'm a good child. I'm doing good for my parents. Do it. If you hide it and you do it, it's better for you. So that's it.
Thank you.
Please. Okay. Oh, okay.
Yes, because the first question was a very good question. So this person said, this sister said, our father has properties and he has been incapacitated from stroke for over 10 years. He has several properties that are depreciating and most of his children are poor. So can they sell and distribute his assets while he's still alive?
Now, that father, because of his state of health, I hope it has not affected his brain. He just stroke.
Right? Yes.
He still responds.
Yes.
So they
That's not correct.
they can seek his permission before they do that, except only if it has gotten to, because someone who is incapacitated mentally, you cannot take instruction from such a person. And when he's still alive, he still has control over the property. Yeah. Thank you very much. Sorry.
If you have more questions, please. Where our scholars, some other scholars will be taking answers to questions. All right.